arms of cardinals of England. Now, at the moment, uniquely in history, we have 4 English cardinals. We've never had so many English cardinals at once. It's because they recognise the priests of England are superior and intelligent and modest. Yeah. Now, there is a rumour we're about to have our 5th English cardinal named very soon, but I'm not going to tell you who it is in case you go to the bookies and put a bet on. So we have the cardinals along here. So we have Cardinal Hume, that many of you will remember, who died in 1999.
Yeah.
So Cardinal Hume is just at the end here. He was a monk of Ampleforth and was made Cardinal Archbishop of Westminster in 1978, I think, and down to the Abbot of Ampleforth, who was made Archbishop of Westminster, Cardinal Hume. And just before he died, the late Queen Elizabeth II made him a member of the Order of Merit, which was a very high honour given to an English cardinal. He was also the first cardinal to be invited to preach to the royal family in 500 years, when he was invited to Sandringham to preach to the royal family after Christmas. And the Queen described him as her cardinal, which is very pleasant, isn't it? Very pleasant.
Yeah.
Now, what you might find interesting is the coat of arms in front of us here almost looks like the front of our passports. Yeah? Not quite. This is the coat of arms, the royal coat of arms of the House of Stuart. And you might see there is a crown. Can you see the cardinal's red hat? And below it is a crown. This is because this is the Cardinal Duke of York, as he was called, Henry Stuart. Now, he had a claim to the throne of England. Jacobites, remember the Jacobites?
Jacobites.
So he was the last male claimant of the Jacobite line, and when his brother and his father and grandfather, when they were all dead, he was the last male line descendant, and in law he was King Henry IX. And so he had a crown, the British St. Edward's crown, on his coat of arms, and the Pope allowed him the title, His Eminent Majesty. He treated him as a king. And he was Bishop of Frascati, where all the seminarians are currently drinking white wine, probably.
Sparkling wine.
So, the Cardinal Duke of York, after he died, the Pope recognised the House of Hanover as the legitimate kings and queens of Britain. But until he died, the Pope still recognised the Jacobites as the legitimate Catholic kings of England. So it's kind of interesting, yeah? So, Cardinal Duke of York. Now, the present Cardinal Archbishop of Westminster is behind us, Cardinal Nichols there. There he is. And can you see it says 2014, and then the scroll on the opposite side doesn't have the year written in yet, because although he's offered his resignation to the Pope when he was 75, which was 5 years ago. He'll be 80 in November, but it's yet to be accepted by the Pope. So the postal system is terrible.
Yes. He only got his share.
Yes.
Before COVID.
They tend to, with major archbishops, the Pope tends to leave them till 80, and for 2 reasons. The first is, if they are still active archbishops, they could be candidates for the papacy if there's a conclave. Whereas if they're retired, they would not be considered. So it's a compliment that Pope Francis didn't accept Cardinal Nichols' resignation, so that he could be considered, even though he wasn't elected, could be considered a candidate for the papacy. So these are the coats of arms. These are the coats of arms of the college above here. So you can see the dragon there, the dragon of Pope Gregory, who sent who went under the Great English College was founded, the Lions of England, a shell at the base to signify the pilgrims who came to the hospice from the 1360s onwards. And then you see the 3 rabbits in a silver shield at the top, on top of the red shield. Can you see? They look like 3 slugs from where we are. So that's the coat of arms of William Allen, who founded the English College. And the 2 keys are the symbols of the papacy, gold key for heaven, and the lead key for earth, and then the triple crown of the Pope, the papal tiara. there they are, 3 rabbits. Yeah. 3 white rabbits. Now, this shield here, hopefully you'll remember who this man is. So, on the 22nd of June, 1535, beg your pardon, somebody's left the bag, I think. It's okay, we'll make sure we get it before we go. We're going out that way. So, this is on the 22nd of June, 1535. Bishop John Fisher, who was Bishop of Rochester, who was the only bishop in England to oppose Henry VIII, was beheaded. And before he was beheaded, the Pope Paul III decided that whilst Bishop Fisher was in the Tower of London awaiting his execution, that he would create him a cardinal. Now cardinals wear red, signified by the red hats you can see there. Because they're prepared to shed their blood for the faith. There is only one cardinal in the history of the Catholic Church who has shed his blood for the faith, and it's Cardinal Fisher of England. The only cardinal. Yeah? So they all wear red, but only John Fisher has made it red through his own blood. When Henry VIII heard that Paul III had created Bishop Fisher a cardinal, he said, "Let the Pope send a red hat. He shall wear it upon his shoulders, for he shall not have a head to wear it upon."
Oh, God.
So the red hat reached Calais. The Pope sent the red hat to the new cardinal, but the Bishop Fisher had already been beheaded by the time he was created cardinal. So John Fisher, you can see his dates are just 1535. Then on the 6th of July, a couple of weeks later, St. Thomas More was beheaded. And it shocked Europe. It's kind of beyond imagining, really, in terms of what the shock was to Europe. They thought that England had lost its mind, and the king particularly had lost his mind. But imagine this, in all of the statesmen, nobles and bishops of England, only 2 had the courage to stand up to the king. Isn't that incredible? It is incredible, isn't it, really? And it shames us, really, you know, just watch this anything to get out. So it shames us, really, doesn't it? Because they were so brave and they stood alone. So John Fisher and Thomas More are very special to me because it was on their feast day I was ordained a priest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but John Fisher, a great man, and a hero, really, of the church in England and Wales. Now, soon it will be 500 years since their martyrdom, and there should be a special celebration for them. But if you wish to, if you've never done this, I would encourage you to do it. If you go to the Tower of London, if you write in advance and say you would like to visit the cell of Thomas More, they will take you. They'll let you out as well. But you can also go to the crypt of St. Peter's Church in the Tower of London and visit the site where John Fisher and Thomas More's bodies were interred after their execution. Yeah, it's very, very special. Okay. So, on the right, as you look here, you can have a look in here if you wish to, through the door. This is the refectory, this is the dining room of the seminary, which is very beautiful. Perhaps if we just pop in if we're being a bit naughty. So you can see on the ceiling, you can see there he is. So we have St. George and the Dragon on the roof, on the ceiling rather, and there we are, on the roof here, the ceiling, you can see St. George and the Dragon. Now, you can tell it's a male horse, but don't look too closely. When you're eating your pasta down here, suddenly you look up and there's a very large horse above you. You can see Cardinal William Allen, that's his portrait, founder of the college. And these two portraits, these two central portraits, are new. They've only just been painted and gifted to the college. Yeah? So you've got over here on the right, the Society of Jesus, it said in Latin, so the Society of Jesus, priest, the Reverend Father Charles Baker Lewis, and he is the proto-martyr of Wales, the first Welshman to be martyred. And over here you have of the secular clergy, diocesan priest, Ralph Sherwin, who is the first English priest to be martyred. So these are the two proto-martyrs, we call them, of England. And then Pope Gregory there, who founded was founded. Remember I told you the Pope is red on right? Yes. There he is. Very red. Now, does anybody think he looks like Santa Claus?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, there's only 81 days till Christmas. Get some last minute shopping. Yeah. Thanks, Rick. If I show you out into the corridor again.
That is the way it
So this is
So we celebrate once.
they're a different group. These are a different group, yeah. Come on. So
Because that is a big stone fortune.
it was, I think it was removed in the 1970s. Yeah, very sad really. So this plaque commemorates all of the students of this college, all of the graduates of the college, as it were, who were martyred.
Oh.
This is all their names. Yeah? And so, can you see some are saints, some have B next to them, and some have Ven next to them.
So the
So saints have been canonized. B are Beati, they're blessed, and then venerable are just on the first step of sainthood. Okay, so they're not. So, for example, we wouldn't ask the prayers of Edward or Thomas or Brian just yet. We would ask the prayers of all the B's and all the S's. Yeah, okay. But what's curious is, if you are killed as a martyr, what's called in odium fidei, in hatred of the faith, you are automatically beatified. Okay, so that's how I hope to go. So what we have here everybody above was actively killed for their faith, whereas Thomas, Brian, Edward and Edward simply died for their faith. So everybody who's B or saint were killed, whereas these four died in prison. Yeah. So whilst they're included in the list of those who gave their life, they died through being imprisoned rather than being put to death. Yeah.
So all of the Christians that were killed by ISIS
Sure.
were automatically.
Yeah, the church could recognise it. You'd need room
I think
to approve
well, the
it.
issue with it is lots of probably don't even know
Yeah.
their names
But
because
they are,
there were so many.
Well, arguably, do you remember that school shooting in Minneapolis recently of 2 children who were shot at Mass? Whilst it would not be particularly helpful to their families or whatever, perhaps, but those 2 children are martyrs because they were killed in hatred of the faith. So they're straight to heaven. I mean, they're children, they go straight to heaven anyway. But with these, what you have are the saints were canonized as part of the group of the 40 martyrs of England and Wales in 1970, but the rest are simply martyrs who have not yet been canonized, but we can ask their prayers. Okay? So it's just, they took great pride in this because it's their college, you know, and I always remember when I was at seminary, our seminary produced 129 martyrs, the martyrs of Dowie College, and you feel very inspired by it, you know, that these were men who gave their whole lives, for the faith, and it makes you feel very small, really. But they have great pride and devotion and respect to the 44 men who gave their lives, hence the plaque. And if we go through, if this door is open, I'll show you the chapel. This is called the Martyr's Chapel. This is the Martyr's Chapel. It's one of the older chapels. It's very beautiful. This is the painting, frescoes, are blessedly being assumed into heaven. Can you see? So this way you have the tomb of Our Lady, St. Peter there, St. John looking in, and then Our Lady being assumed into heaven. And over here you've got Paul McCartney. There's an angel playing a lute. And in the centre you have a painting of the martyrdom of St. Thomas Becket. Becket there in Canterbury Cathedral, where he was martyred, yeah? And you can see the knights coming to kill him and make him a martyr. And the king came to Rome to beg forgiveness. The Pope left him in the snow for 2 days to wait before he absolved him. Those were the good old days, So this chapel isn't used so much by the seminarians. It's used for prayers, perhaps before big feasts, but the main chapel is the chapel we used earlier. So you see what a great, treasure it is, and it's quite a privilege really to come in to these parts, because these are normally off limits, So I've only been in here once or twice, and I am a priest, Not very religious though, so I don't go to chapels. So, but it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful, and the floor is gorgeous, And the images are very beautiful to sit
And very noisy. And why the design? Why is this design of the site?
This design of the chapel being on this side and this side, does it remind anybody of a building in London?
A court.
What else? What do you think? So, the seats on either side, the House of Commons, yeah?
Oh, yes.
So the House of Commons, Parliament began meeting in St. Stephen's Chapel. And they met in St. Stephen's Chapel and sat opposite each other because monasteries and chapels are arranged what we call antiphonally. So one side sings the first verse of a psalm, and the second sings the second side of the psalm, and third and fourth, and it goes back antiphonally. So in Britain, Parliament face each other across, because they used to meet in a chapel, whereas most parliaments are semicircular. Yeah? So our origins are in a chapel. So Big Ben is St. Stephen's Tower, until it was renamed the Elizabeth Tower, which no one calls it because it's all called Big Ben, So, but that's why. So the chapel is laid out because the seminarians, when they pray the divine office, the prayer of the church, there's one side leads with one verse and then one recites with the other. So it goes back to the monasteries. That's why it's laid out like this. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in Parliament, just to give you a little bit of Parliament trivia, the distance between the front row seats and the front row seats is 2 swords width. So they couldn't have a sword fight. It's true.
We'll get a sword out.
And you know the phrase towing the line comes from the fact that down each side in Parliament there are lines. So you have to stay on your side of the line to tow the line, party line, tow the party line. So your toe has to touch the party line on each side of the house, and to cross the floor meant to change party. Yeah? So anyway, that's to do with Parliament. I'll give you a tour of the House of the Parliament. You're getting everything here, aren't you? That was saved then. And there's actually, behind this wall here, grill here, there's actually a swing. No, you're not going to swing. It's one of the largest private gardens in Rome, you might imagine, where it's premium. If you just want to have a wander down the courtyard, don't get thrown away like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see. There's swimming pool.
Can we go and have a dip?
Swimming pool. Swimming pool. There, this is the water. Water? So this is the water? Lemon. Oh. Yeah. The swimming pool and jacuzzi. It's cold. Oh, look at the lemons in here. Yes, look at the top lemons. That one is not. Oh, oranges, not lemon, it's oranges. Oh, look. Sorry, no, it's real, sorry.
And then I've got the really good memories.
Oh, this one is very good for your, when you put it in face in your YouTube, the narrow English college there.
I remember my friend was saying that.
Ah.
Saying that.
Okay.
Why would you revise? What do you need to revise? You know you need to revise the So at university particularly, my friend used to deliver with this. I would ask for extra fees and then leave early. I'd be in the car.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I can understand why.
Yeah,
Tim.
when I make connections between places, it's significant connections. There are so many gaps in my knowledge, like I'm terrible at maths,
I'm good at everything.
I can sing, okay, I can't play an instrument, I can't read music. So there are loads of gaps there in my knowledge. But I do like history, I like art, languages.
Ja, daar.
See, I hard for him to buy. Succeeded well. Yeah. But you can send it to Carlos like this. Thank you.
You say that, I mean, I am a risk manager, so there is never a need to really convey that knowledge outside of a very small segment.
It's funny, isn't it, how I suppose in terms of the skills and the when they're dangerous, you don't want to develop those skills, you just retain the ones you have. You don't push beyond it.
Yeah.
extraordinary. So apparently, someone in the bus
Yeah, we just put this in front of you. Oh, okay. It's just an extra.
some of the diocese practice with Lloyds.
Oh, really? So I am the banking group, so I'm looking at Lloyd's and
Deliberate, it's deliberate.
of course it is. But I hadn't heard of that, you know, obviously. 14 hours ago, I was, yeah, we were into that. So, we used them.
So, the choice. I mean to get clear on what was the complication is so complex, and what happened like in Eastern Israel is that the surrounding Arab nations have always attacked Israel on a Jewish festival and feast. It was one of the Yom Kippur War of 1973. So whilst all the Israelis were fasting, the Arabs invaded all the Arab nations.
On that.
Yeah, in a way which, if Israel had bombed Jordan during Ramadan, you'd never heard any of it.
No, absolutely not.
So it's disappointing. And like I was saying last night, Britain can't take 20 years to here, and then it's more the same. But remember, the thing about that is that it's ideal because some of the Jews are castle.
the road here.
Okay.
Prego, prego.
Posso comprare lì proprio cosa
Oh.
I know where it's very straight. That is the Italian army. And then there's a carabinieri, like the army.
Voglio i capelli. There's worse places to be found. Get some.
We'll wait for you here, Father.
So that's where they would have stayed here. This is the Saxon area of Rome. So the end of this street is the church. We'll have mass at tomorrow probably. Sancto Spiritu in Sassia, which means the Holy Spirit in Saxony, basically. So this is the Saxon area where the Saxon pilgrims, and as we all know, St. Patrick was born in Britain. So whilst he's the patron saint of Ireland and Nigeria, he is British, which always annoys the Irish. That's why I say it as often as possible. So we'll go down this lane here now. Good shape.
You haven't lost me yet. It's fine. You walk down the street.
I've been to Italy for 20 years. Won the race. Congratulations.
Perché non avanti a schiena number one,
Toen komt in de stad, maar voor deze prijs wil ik het maar. Dat is niet te kort. Dat zal dan een ding dat wordt het moeilijk te beoordelen. Nu heb ik niks. Dat is wel jammer.
So this is the church. We'll have mass tomorrow, and it's pretty beautiful inside. So you might want to anticipate it by now. We're going in now, but tomorrow it's very impressive. We'll be with another group. They are English speaking, so hopefully they will understand me. You know.
Yeah, I hope you.
They've got their own priest. They'll probably think about it. Inside it's a very beautiful church.
Hold my hand. Careful about it. Careful with that. It's another window.
Why Danish too?
This way.
So it's up to you.